Good morning, everyone. We have got a bunch of people in here this morning, and I am running behind. I didn't have everything set up here um, from last night's live. Let me get just a second here, y'all. Sorry about this. How is everybody? It is December the 2nd, 2024. We are going to be in Proverbs 2 to coincide with that date of December the 2nd. And all right, now I'm close, getting closer. Got to adjust my light and let's see here. Oop. Come back, light, come back. There we go. All right, how is everyone? Good morning. We got, let's see, Teresa Jukowitz. Good morning. How are you? Rebecca, good morning. Andy, good morning. Joey, good morning. Who else here? Lazy Days Ahead, good morning. And did I say Joey? I did. Good morning, I believe. My brother Ronald is here with me. Good morning, Ronald. Good morning. Morning, Jack, Rebecca, Teresa. We will try to be on once started. Hit the road for overtime. Foreseeable future. Got to make the hay when it is sunny. Yes, you do, Andy. I understand. Totally. We're glad to have you here if we can. Let's get into this chapter 2 of Proverbs. Not a long chapter, but got quite a bit of notes with it. Let's see. Verse 1 has a note of chapter 2, verse 1. The verse says, "My son, if you receive my words and treasure my commandments within you." And then the note says, "The nature of this and many other such proverbs is a father talking to his son about life, the son just beginning to face adult realities and becomes responsible for himself. The wise sayings are offered as treasures." Okay, no doubt. I still treasure some of the things my dad taught me for sure, and I try to teach them to my sons. So that you incline your ear, verse 2. Hey, Christy Betts, good morning. Glad you're in here. Verse 2, so that you incline your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding. Yes, if you cry out for discernment and lift up your voice for understanding, if you seek her as silver and search her as for hidden treasures. Verse 5, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. And verse 5 has a note. It says the two phrases, the fear of the Lord and the knowledge of God, encompasses the classic Old Testament terms for true religion, the poles of awe and intimacy. Okay. Verse 6 also has a note. For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. And the note says the basic meaning of the word wisdom in the Hebrew, hokmah, in the Old Testament is skill. Those who wove the tabernacle tapestries had hokmah. Those who prepared the high priest's garments had hokmah. Those who piloted ships at sea had hokmah. In other words, wisdom in a skill given by God to accomplish a task is hokmah. And I'm going to spell that so you know what I'm saying. Hokmah. Hokmah. Let's see. We're in verse 7. I was looking at the chat. Verse 7 says, he stores up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk uprightly. He guards the paths of justice and preserves the way of his saints. Then you will understand righteousness and justice, brain, equality. My brain. Where are we at? Verse 9. And I'm hung up on a word, and I apologize. Equity. It's not equity, I don't think. It might be equity in every good path. I'm going to read the whole verse again because of that. Then you will understand righteousness and justice, equity in every good path. When wisdom enters your heart and knowledge is pleasant to your soul. Verse 11 through verse 20 has a note. Discretion will preserve. Drink some coffee. Yes, that's a good thing. Verse 11. Discretion will preserve you. Understanding will keep you to deliver you from the way of evil, from the man who speaks perverse things, from those who leave the paths of uprightness, to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice in doing evil and delight in the perversity of the wicked, whose ways are crooked and who are devious in their paths, to deliver you from immoral women, from seductress who flatters with her words, who forsakes the companion of her youth and forgets the covenant of her God. For her house leads down to death, and her paths to the dead. None who go to her return, nor do they reign the paths of life. And let's see, next verse, 20. So you may walk in the way of goodness and keep to the paths of righteousness. Now let's look at that note. When wisdom and knowledge become a person's way of life, the talk and interest of the wicked, the evil, the immoral, of darkness and perversity will lose their appeal. Discretion preserves a person. Wisdom that seeks God delivers from the temptation that leads to death. That is good stuff. Our next note is over verses 16 through 19, so let's go back up to verse 16 and read that part again. To deliver you from the immoral woman, from the seductress who flatters with her words, who forsakes the companion of her youth and forgets the covenant of her God. For her house leads down to death, and her paths to the dead. None who go to her return, nor do they reign or regain. Ooh, I'm gonna knock my light over. Nor do they regain. I lost my place. Nor do they regain the paths of life. Now the note there says, the seductress promises the temporary pleasures of sin, but in the end, her ways are eternally deadly for the soul. Those who follow her never regain the paths of life. See also chapters 6 and 7, and we will get to those later this week and next. Let's see, no, all of them this week. All right, our next note is 21. Let's do the redneck weather report. That's done. Get out of there. Let's go. Can't scroll with my mouse. Verse 21 and 22. For the upright will dwell in the land, and the blameless will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut off from the earth, and the unfaithful will be uprooted from it. And there's a note on that. It says the way of the righteous and the way of the wicked lead to eternally different territories. The path a person walks today will determine their destination tomorrow. And that wraps this up. Thank you, Jesse, hitting the thumbs up there. That's what Jesse is saying. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 6 and verses starting in verse 10, and we will get our armor put on, y'all. Ephesians 6 verse 10. Let's do this. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand, stand therefore, having girded your waist with truth, having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, with which you will be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, being watchful to this end with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints, and for me, that utterance may be given to me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains, that in it I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. Now, we are prepared to face this day. We have our armor on. We've got the Word of God in us, and that is a great way to start our day. We're getting a little coffee in us. I thank each and every one of you for being here with me this morning. I'm sorry I got hung up. I'm going to look a word up here in a minute. I can promise you that. Equity. I don't know why I hung up on it, or it doesn't even look familiar to me. My brain quit. Not the first time I ever read it. But listen, thank y'all for being here. God bless y'all. I challenge you guys to go be a blessing for someone else today. And we will see you again tomorrow. Thank you, Teresa. Hey, y'all have a fantastic day and enjoy it, because the Lord is here with us.